Hi,
Hello, sir. How have you been doing?
good Gaurav, how are you?
I'm good. We still have a few minutes for people to join,
Yes, all good.
or we'll just be waiting for a few more
An
minutes.
easy time on Sunday. Sunday noon time is the thing. Did you have a good workout in the morning?
Yes, a good one. Not very good one, but okay.
It's raining now.
Yeah, it's raining and the weather is also not very supportive for an outdoor
Yeah,
activity.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
guys
so,
have hills over here where I stay. So, even a short hill workout is normally worth its time.
yes, definitely. And it's still raining a lot in Mumbai.
Crazy. It's like overcast, like thunderstorms every day.
Yes.
Literally every day there's a storm.
Okay.
But
Calcutta
I used
bad.
to it. Like, life doesn't stop and everything goes on just the way, as though nothing has happened.
And Calcutta is not that bad, but still some showers here and
You
there.
have a second monsoon later in the year, no? From the
Yes,
east?
we should be having somewhere in August, I think,
Yeah.
really coming up.
So you
And
organize that staircase run also, is it? I just saw on your board.
that's going to take on the 14th of August.
It's
That's
here?
there's 33 floors of run
Yeah.
that uh, we organized. This is the second edition. Last year it was a very unique idea. One of
Must be
the
a lot of fun. Yeah, unique. Completely unique.
we have this Western hotel. It has 33, 34 floors, so it's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Yes, just waiting for a while. Some more
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can.
No rush from my side. I'm very chill. And it's just a 15-20 minute show. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
time. Yeah. So you do this every year or every month, or how do you do this?
So, we had this. This is the season two going on. We had this season one like 3, 4 months back. So there we had been speaking to all the experts, athletes who are already into some fitness or the other.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
this season we are speaking to more
Amateur.
doctors more
Huh.
doctors and who are into fitness and are into some type of either they are surgeons or
Uh-huh.
doctors or cardiologists. So this season two, this is the first episode. So
I'll give you 2 dozen good doctors who are very successful in practice and who are fully into sports.
yeah, there are a lot of
Yeah.
good doctors I know, and we'll take your suggestion also. We'll speak to them
Yeah.
if they're keen
There
to
are
have a.
cyclists, there are mountaineers, there are runners, of course. There are guys who are just into big body fitness and all
Hmm.
like well placed doctors in the city.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why this season we'll be speaking to doctors because our athletes and the people who are our viewers, they are also, there are some amateurs and some are just taking up fitness. So it will be very good help for them to understand from if a doctor is speaking from his experience, from his knowledge. So it will be a great take. That's what we thought.
Yeah,
So
it's a good plan.
yeah. So accordingly we are planning.
Mm-mm.
So in next 1 minute, I think we can start a topic. Just it's 12,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Whatever you say, I'm chilling with my coffee.
yeah, that's great. I've
You're
just had.
out of Calcutta. Your industry is also in Calcutta. Or it's outside the city.
It's outside the city. It's outside the city. It's in
Yeah.
Durgapur. It's like a 2, 3 hour car drive. So not
Yeah.
that.
And you're a born again, or you've always been athletic?
No. I've just taken up sports and athletics from like last 5, 6 years.
Ah.
Earlier I was just lazing around.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
So I think we can start. I think many people have already joined and it's already our time. So I would like to welcome all our viewers. I'm Gaurav Jejudia and this is the Jai Balaji Indira Talk 101 season 2. This season we'll be taking up and talking to all the doctors for the fitness which we are looking forward for. So each and every session will be covering some topics or the other. I would really like to welcome Dr. Nene. He's a spine surgeon, but to it, he's a cyclist, he's a marathoner, and a long list, which will again take the entire day if I start describing his activities on fitness. So, our topic today is like fitness at 40. Like school days were the best days of our life, where you have always been very active, very fit, and running 10 to 12 rounds of our school fields were never a task as such. But once responsibilities come up, and then again we are stuck with the burdens and responsibilities, we are touching at the age of 40 approximately. If what is the fitness level then? Is it at a back seat, or we have already missed our bus of fitness? So I think Dr. Nene can just give us some good ideas and tips as what should we look at 40 our fitness level should be.
Yes, Gaurav. So why do we thank you for having me, and it's an honor to be talking to a steel magnet who's an Iron Man himself. So
Thank
most
you.
of you know that Gaurav is the biggest steel maker in West Bengal and maybe in India, and
No,
he's
no,
a
no.
born fitness freak who's finally gone and done the Iron Man, which is a big medal on anyone's chest. So congratulations, Gaurav. Just coming to this topic of 40, why 40? So I'm 50, so why should we be talking about fitness at 40? So there's a very specific thing that happens in life at 40, right? So our life is divided into 3 or 4 big phases. The phase from 0 to 20 is when we're growing up, and this is medical science. When we're growing up, shaping up, the body is actually developing to the needs that are being thrust on it, and which is why there's a huge requirement for kids to be outdoors and play and maybe do gym and work out, because that's how their body is going to develop. So if
Mhm.
you invest well in those first 20 years, and this is a shout out to all the parents who are trying to harness kids who are on their video games, if you can get their butts out of the house and get them to do physical activities, by the time they're 20 or 22, which is when children develop fully, or adults go into early adulthood, you have your bank balance in a good position. Now, between 20 and 40 approximately is the time of the middle overs, as we say. This is the time when you can then build on what you have, and if you're able to sustain well, uh,
Mhm.
40 is that magic, or the the sad number when the body starts to actually decline. And if you're doing nothing at 40, you will actually lose muscle mass at the rate of anywhere between 1 to 3% every year, just by doing nothing. So imagine, you're by not working out, you're actually getting weaker, and that cascades into a real turmoil for women after 50 or after menopause, and for men after 70. So it's all it's all in your body to be made until you're 40, and that's where 40 comes in as a magic number. And if you're not fit at 40, you can't be fit at 50.
Yes, yes, yes. That's really true. But what really drives people to come at a fitness regime at 40? Because there's so much social commitments and there is so much around going. It becomes very difficult for people at this age to really take up fitness as a daily routine, as a daily regime.
Yeah.
So like how to cope up with this aspect of life,
Yeah.
like.
So as you yourself have experienced, we
Yeah.
all are into setting up our lives, socially, economically, financially, etc. Our boat starts to sail a bit, reasonably, and we are not struggling around, right? So again, 40 becomes a magic number when you're kind of settled, and the wise then zoom out and look at their life as a whole, and they stop focusing only on that one task of making money or getting their, life's act together. And this is the time when you can spare some moments or some hours of the week to work on yourself, for your own fitness, because before that you're just struggling, you're literally working. We all did, Gaurav, you did, I did, Raji did, everyone did, right? So struggling, trying to make ends meet and trying to get things together. But at 40, once you realize that you have some time with you, it takes some initiation, some inspiration, and sometimes some bad incidences that can switch you over. I know my next door neighbor had a heart attack at 40, and now he's a marathon runner after a bypass surgery. So sometimes it's just that little rap on your knuckles, but ultimately that's where you make the switch.
Yes, but one more thing, sir, like if you are not taking up fitness from a quite early age, then coming to 40 and then starting, it becomes a very, very tough task. Like if you want to also, your body is not coping up with the fitness regime, either you fall under an injury, or you are not able to cope up, because the entire last few years you have not been into fitness. So how can anyone start at 40? We understand we
I
should
think you nailed
start,
the
but
question of the hour, Gaurav. What you nailed is the question of the hour for me. That there are two categories of people. One who have never been fit and who just now wake up and say, "Boss, I think I need to get my act together." And another who've been into fitness when they were kids, like you said in school. Then they've dropped out because of because of a long layoff of work. So I think the my formula is quite clear, because when you're mostly either way at 40, you're making a comeback. And when you're making a comeback, there are two things that have gone wrong in the last 2 decades. One is you've got significantly deconditioned. So do not rest on the laurels that you had when you were a young athlete. The other is that you've gained weight and you're suffering in terms of nutrition, because you've gone on the dark side of your healthy life. And the first rule to follow when you get that inspiration to get fit is start low and start slow, and work on four large verticals before you jump into a sport or jump into doing marathon running or jump into mountaineering. So the first is to get your weight right, and that unfortunately happens in the kitchen. You can't expect to lose weight by walking every day. You know as well as I know that if you do a 30-minute brisk walk, the amount of calories you burn will be taken up by two chapatis or by one bourbon biscuit. So
yeah,
it's totally a waste, because your metabolism is significantly lower at 40. So you got to get your diet together. You got to start second with a very low impact, longish endurance activity that has to be just done repetitively. So just doing a 20-minute walk for 5 days a week for 1 month can set you up. You don't need any large target, but this proves to you that you're disciplined about it, you're committed about it, and that the chance of injury is low. So you're kind of ambling into it. The third,
yes,
of course, is to do some strength workouts, and these could be very easy body weight, wall push ups, some rubber bands, something to stimulate the muscle, because muscles work on two fibers, Gaurav, white fibers and red fibers. So
yeah.
while strength comes through white fibers, endurance comes through red fibers, and both have to be worked on. And then the third is adequate. I mean, the fourth is adequate rest and nutrition, because that becomes the cornerstone of building your blocks as you work on yourself.
Yes, yes, that were very informative. And one more thing, like coming to 40, already, obesity has taken up a lot of youth. At the moment, I see a lot of people who are obese at the age of 30, 35. So, what's your message to them? Like at a very young age also, and even children, I see they are stuck with their mobile phones, and they are stuck with their uh, playstations. So we need to understand, and what's your take, and how can this be broken and they get activated? So this is very important to, if you're reaching till 40, now the lifestyle should start changing. Okay, I understand after 20, 25 there are many things to do, but something should keep on adding up, so that at 40 you don't need to start all over again.
Yeah.
So like,
Again, there are two aspects. One is to, invest correctly before you turn 25, which, for most of us on this chat group, that part is over and we've missed that part. But so let's talk about the guy who's overweight and at 35 or 40 wants to, move into. So the tagline here, which I think all of us should, etch in our heads, is that weight does not come through breathing air. Weight
yeah,
only is built by eating. Full stop, period. Dobara mat puchna. So the people blame thyroid, they blame bad menstrual cycles, they blame the whole works around them. Diabetes ho gaya, weight gain hoga. That is incorrect. Weight only comes by what you put into the body, else the body will eat up from what it has in itself, and that's the truth. It can never be said more harshly. So you will have to control. So there's another truth here, a side truth, is that the amount of calories that you needed per day when you were growing up, because your metabolism or your bone factory or your body factory was running at a very high pedestal. that significantly goes down after 35 or 40. So if you needed 3 meals a day and your parents insisted that beta achhi tarah se kha lo, that suddenly changes to maybe 2 meals a day and sometimes even 1 meal a day, because your metabolism has dropped down and your lifestyle has become significantly sedentary. So I think if you can just cut 1 meal off, maybe skip dinners and move to just pure uncooked salads, or maybe skip a lunch, whatever works for you. That could be the first baby step into controlling your weight. After which, of course, engaging in calorie burning activities suddenly gives you the value of calorie burn, because when you do that power walk and you come back,
Oh,
man, I've really sweated out, and you look at your watch and it says you've burned 200 calories, you're like, oh man, I'm going to gain that in half a meal. So then you
yeah.
start realizing the value of the calories that you consume, and unfortunately that's where the buck stops.
Okay, yeah, definitely. This is what is to be understood, as most of our viewers are athlete, and they are taking up either running or cycling or swimming, and they are triathletes also. So, but here also, as you rightly said, that nutrition is very important. But today also, people, they hesitate, to visit a nutritionist and take the correct guidance. To some extent, I feel that okay, they have something in the back of the mind that okay, nutritionists will only cut down as to what they are already been eating. What's your take on that? Like, how can that myth be cleared, that no, nutritionists can be of use?
Yeah, so luckily, as India has moved forward economically, the role of good health rather than saving lives has come into play, and many of us from zero want to go to plus. Until when we were kids, it was minus going to zero. Like people who were suffering with disease were going to a nutritionist to get better. Diabetics were going, and PCODs were going, and people who had maladies. But today, I think the awareness of a nutritionist, not only to lose weight but also to eat correctly. For example, you and me, I'm guessing both strictly vegetarians, are
Yes.
lacking protein on a daily basis, right? So a human body needs 1 gram of protein 1 gram per kilogram protein. So I need 72 or 74 grams of proteins every day. One bowl of dal, which we proudly have, gives you 6 grams of protein. So just imagine how short we fall. And even merely paying attention to that, and resetting your carb versus protein ratio, which again seems to be quite warped in Indian diets, can help. And that's where a nutritionist comes into play. But again, I see it from the people's perspective that when you go to a nutritionist who himself or herself isn't fit, you don't get inspired. And
Right.
you need a nutritionist who looks at positive health rather than someone who's trying to save your skin.
Yes, that's right. So really a very important aspect which we have just given. Like, so how would you like to sum up, sir? Like at 40, what's your take? Like, how should we start? There are many people who want to start. So how can anyone at 40 can start, and what should he or she be looking forward for?
Yeah, so I think at 40, you're looking at the remaining half of your life. And if
Yes.
you want to live that life well, it doesn't matter how many years you do, you will unfortunately have to invest in the only place that you can call your own, and that's your body, right? It's the only place that's yours for life. And to invest in the body is important because the body is going to recede after 40. And if you don't do something about it, it's going to, come back onto you. And so back to the four principles that I said: one, disciplined, low impact, sustainable activity, whatever it may be. It could be swimming, it could be walking, it could be cycling, it could be something that invests in cardio, so your heart rate goes up. Remember, many of us are compromised on the heart, so it's a good idea to at least have a heart rate monitor. I got my own cardiac CT done when I was 42 or something, just to make sure that everything is clear, because that's a genetic problem. Separately, working hard on your diet, uh, going out of the zone of comfort and doing some muscle building activity which will strain the muscle, challenge the muscle, and legs, upper limbs, both together. And then working on your balance and postures and nutrition and rest. I think if you can do this, making small sustainable tasks combine into bigger tasks, and then keep a goal like a carrot, like Gaurav, you did the Iron Man. When you kept that carrot in front of you, going back 2 years, you work towards it. So if there's a carrot of a 10K run, if there's a carrot of a very small trek that you want to do, or just a ride with your friends down to 100 kilometers away from the city, that could be an incentive towards which you can work. and these goals can then add up. So by the time you're 50, you can proudly say that you're a fit 50 and not an unfit 50.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. It was really very nice talking, and really a very informative session which we have had with Dr. Nene. So, people who are at 40, it's still not late. We should start. We should start immediately with small and sustainable activities. But one more thing, which is very important, is your diet. We should control on that, and I'm sure by the time we reach 50, we'll be as fit as Dr. Nene. Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank,
having me. It's been a great pleasure.
thank you, thank you, thank you, viewers, and keep subscribing to our channel, GBG Endura 101. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.